here we go, finally throwing a leg over the Indian Challenger. Wow! First impressions starting this thing up is that very smooth ignition, like a very smooth idle. This thing has pipes on it. Not going to go very far in neutral. So for everybody watching this video, you'll know I just put a video out not too long ago, or not everybody knows, but saying that I was blacklisted or maybe blacklisted from Indian, and some people took that video as if I was just kind of a butthurt YouTuber, and in all reality, guys, it was just more of me trying to share a story of what happened back when this bike came out. So I am not the kind of guy here who's holding a grudge. It's not who I am. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you guys a very honest opinion, and so far I actually just got back from riding a CVO Street Glide, and I'm very interested to just kind of feel this Challenger out compared to what that Street Glide feels like. And first thing I will tell you is I don't really like these bars all that much. With that being said, the weight of this motorcycle is significantly better than the Harley, and I truly mean that. I know a lot of people like to argue back and forth which bike is better, and honestly, most of that is a subjective argument that's kind of a waste to even have in general, but this thing feels good. It's certainly twitchy. I don't know which ride mode that I'm in. It's taking a minute to definitely get used to this bike. All right, turn the music down. You know, yeah, as far as maneuverability goes, it feels more flickable than the Harley touring bikes, but I don't know, I'm kind of struggling on how I feel about this bike. Usually I'm pretty quick. Like back when I rode the Chief, I was very sold on the feeling of that bike. I think a lot of what I'm not liking right now is these specific bars. These feel turned out to me almost. I don't know, I'm struggling with it, but I don't want to get too hung up on the bars here. Feeling wise, this bike, I've been saying for a while Harley needs to go to that monoshock, and I think Indian just absolutely knocked it out of the park with this bike design wise. Now the front fairing, people are all over the map on it. I'm sort of indifferent. I don't hate it, I don't love it. Power screen up and down is absolutely awesome. I think that is a pretty basic, simple thing that Indian just has definitely over top of Harley. The ability to be able to you know, put that up and down is pretty awesome. Hand controls, I'm a Harley guy, so I can't critique Indian hand controls as if they're like worse. It's just different, and being fair, being different doesn't make it worse. It just makes it muscle memory not be there. So as far as how this bike feels, weight-wise, it's exactly where the Chieftain was, as far as the weight feels like it's slung down lower. It doesn't feel unwieldy to me. So sometimes the Harley touring bikes can start to feel, in my opinion, heavy in the tank. These Indians do not. It feels like the weight is certainly down more in the motor, lower end. Now that I've gotten a little bit on this clutch, it's not as twitchy as it was before. Ride modes, I don't want to get too far into this. Yeah, I don't know how to use these hand controls, and I'm riding a bike that I'm unfamiliar with, so I don't want to be tapping around too much stuff here, but infotainment screen, I think that Indian still has Harley beat on that as well. It's just real nice design cues, and everything about this bike feels Indian to me. And what's interesting is a lot of people will kind of say like Indian lacks an identity, and or that their identity is that they're copying Harley, and I tend to disagree with that a little bit. Fit and finish is really up there. It's not quite, in my opinion, as good as Harley, but Indian is putting out a very, very solid product. Would I buy one of these over a Harley? I'll get to that at the end of this video, but woo! Wow. Okay, I get it. This that was, guys, that literally felt like I was giving like quarter throttle. This thing, holy. To anybody who disagrees with me that Harley should build a performance bagger, you need to get on a Challenger, because this is insane. I don't want to rip on this thing too much, but oh my god. So I am in 6th gear, and it's like at 2500, it's just all power band. I kind of wish that I could like take this thing up to like 80, 85 right now. Now windscreen up. Yeah, it just sends the air like straight over top of the helmet. Fantastic. Right now I'm kind of sweating. It's pretty hot. I've been sitting out in the sun waiting to ride these bikes. So guys, this thing is legit. Well done, Indian. I think this Challenger is great. Again, I am not a hold grudges kind of guy, so as much as that video I put out prior may have sounded like that was kind of like what I was doing, absolutely not my intention whatsoever. I have no problem getting on a bike and saying that it's a killer, and this thing is, it's a killer, guys. So, you know, again, back to fit and finish. Guys like to talk about the Harley-Davidson fit and finish being superior. I agree and disagree. The paint, Harley has 100% the paint game on lock. I mean, their paint schemes and just the depth of color out of Harley paint jobs far surpasses Indian, in my opinion. But what I will say, though, is that the engine being the crown jewel of Indians, I feel like they put a little bit more design effort in what the actual motor looks like sitting in that frame, and I absolutely appreciate that, because it's just kind of more of a finished product. That's just kind of my opinion. So yeah, I like Indian fit and finish. As far as engineering on this specific Challenger, it feels good. It feels really good. So would I buy a Challenger over a Street Glide? The answer is maybe, but it's also kind of a loaded thing, because I gotta kind of admit it, I am somewhat of a Harley fanboy. I'm not a Harley loyalist. I have no problem considering buying another brand at all. But with that being said, I also am kind of waiting. Mainly, I want to test ride the Pan America and see how that Revolution Max feels. But I'm curious to get just that vibe sitting in the seat of like, what can you possibly do with this thing in terms of a touring bike? Proper sounding Harley-Davidson out of a liquid-cooled motor. Is it achievable? I don't know. A lot of people would say no. But I certainly, at this point where I'm at, woohoo! I really don't care if they throw me out of here, but this thing is a monster. So with that being said, I am waiting on Harley-Davidson, their answer, and if they don't have an answer, it would be very hard for me to not consider a Challenger in, say, I don't know, a year or two, when I anticipate Harley is going to come out with that bike. If they just kind of never do, there is a solid chance that I might go this route. I am pretty blown away with this. Now, again, to you guys who watched one of my older videos, I want to say I test rode a 2018 Chieftain, and I was saying at low speeds, the maneuverability of that bike was leaps and bounds better than, say, a Harley touring bike, and I stand by that. The monoshock design, far superior. Just a fantastic riding bike. So as of today, how do I score this? Well, I say that Harley-Davidson wins in design. Classic Harley-Davidson to me. There just is more there to me. Again, totally subjective. Now, as far as performance of the motorcycle, it's Indian all day, and I'm not even saying it like it's something that I should waver back and forth on. Prior to riding this Challenger, I would have said that the the old Chieftain, that Harley has a better feel, just general twist the throttle, throw you back in the seat kind of feel. But now riding this Challenger, that's not the case. This motor here, this Power Plus, it wants to pull and then wants to pull even more. And this thing has power like no Harley I've ever ridden before. So at least out of the box, this is just a monster. So well done, Indian. Again, guys, I needed to get out on a Challenger and make a video. This video to me was not so much me coming out here to read specs, but me coming out here to ride an Indian, give it the credit that it deserves, because it's absolutely an awesome bike, and not shy away from my content of just kind of sharing my overall story. I'm just out here trying to ride bikes, tell you guys what I think about them, and it's kind of all part of it. So yeah, so with that being said, I'm not here to kiss the ass of any brands. I won't do it. It's not in my nature, but I'm also not out here to dog them either. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel. See you guys next time. Man, even lugging this thing down low, it still is like there's power there. That was 5th gear at 35 miles an hour, which on my bike would have been like glug, 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 glug. And not that it was the right gear selection, but at the same time, like, it's just a very compliant motorcycle. Still not in love with these bars though.